You're now tuned into the fourth season of Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions, a media education company. Let's get it started.
That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the AVIOT podcast. I'm your gracious co-host, Jay Stokes, joined by Jay Random. We also have another co-host who's on our other show, Sports Talk with AVIOT, Tay Stokes. So in case you haven't watched Sports Talk with AVIOT, my sister Tay Stokes is on there, and she is joining on this episode right here. How are y'all doing? I'm going to start with you, Tay.
Good. I'm good. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
No, it ain't too happy for them.
Listen,
He's talking.
my son was saying if anybody was voting for this current presidential administration or was in support of these ICE raids, you should not be celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Nope.
I don't think they can delete their house, so that ain't nobody celebrating. I heard Chicago had a big festival they had to cancel.
Dang.
The people fear ICE gonna be there.
Well, they said Bad Bunny skipping the United States entirely on his world tour.
He at the Met Gala
There you
right
go.
now.
Yeah, but he skipped his
They said
world tour. The world tour, for his music, he's
Well,
skipping the US.
My thing is though, why even come to the Met Gala then?
No, Bad Bunny could come to the Met Gala. He's skipping the US, like on his world tour.
Mm-mm-mm.
Okay.
He must make a lot of money to be skipping the U.S.
He does.
There's a lot of money to be made
popular.
overseas. There's a lot of money.
Oh no, I know it is, but I'm saying don't nobody be skipping.
Well, we're gonna see
Stuff
more
like
of
that.
that
That's what
more
I'm like.
often. Like Tay said, yes, Bad Bunny is very popular. Yes, I didn't even notice how big Shakira was outside of here.
For real?
Oh, Shakira's huge.
Wow.
Yeah, her
Crazy.
fan base is popping.
Oh, I never thought that.
Yeah. Speaking of fan bases popping, so the point of this entire episode right here got the cousins together because we wanted to talk about the movie Sinners. So that's going to be the premise of this entire episode right here. So if you haven't seen the movie Sinners yet, I don't know how. We're in week, 3 or 4 now? I don't know how you haven't seen the 3. I don't know how you haven't seen the movie yet, but we're going to be talking about that this episode right here. So we're not having the breaks like we usually do, no topic of the day. We're just going to talk about the movie. We're going to split this up into 4 parts. The first part is first impressions. Second part is themes from the movie that we got. Third is where do the impact of the movie. And then fourth, where do Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan go next? Okay, so first we're going to start with overall impressions. I want to know, whoever wants to take it away first, have at it. In terms of overall impressions from the movie when you first saw it, how would you describe how you felt and what was, I guess, just your overall impression?
Well, I thought it was great. Oh, me? Yeah. I thought it was great. I splurged and saw it in the 70mm IMAX theater in New York City. I skipped out of work early. Went to go see it at 4:00 on a Friday. It was great. It was really, I think seeing it in the IMAX was worth it, especially in that 70mm screen. I don't know the differences. There's some breakdown somewhere, but I think it's how it's like visualized on the screen was the main difference. I didn't know what to expect. I knew it was about blues and vampires. So I did know the vampire spoiler going in because I saw it a week late, but I still didn't realize how great it was going to be. Yeah.
Okay. I seen it twice. Saw it first just in standard definition. Then we seen it in IMAX, but not the 7mm, whatever. Right. So I couldn't really tell the difference between the two. Besides, IMAX is extremely loud, and they have random sounds going on in the background. I guess like IMAX is no silence in IMAX. That's what I got from it. That I was hearing. I know it was 1932, but I swear I heard cars drive by, and then it was in the matter of fact. Okay, I think I heard the cars drive by when they were in the club in 1980 or something. But I do remember hearing ocean sounds when Smoke and Annie was at Annie's house. I said, why the hell am I hearing ocean sounds? Like it literally sounded like an ocean. I personally thought the movie was good. Just like Tay said, the spoiler, it wasn't really a spoiler, but they kind of gave it away. and I think it was the Ryan Coogler. They were selling it one way, and the studio was selling another way because eventually the studio started releasing the fact that it's a vampire movie. Prior to
Hmm.
that,
Yeah.
I think Ryan Coogler just stuck it on Sinners. You didn't know too much, but you knew it was a blues. It wasn't until the movie theater, not the movie theater, the studio started chiming in and introducing the vampire scene.
I
I thought it was
think
a good movie.
I think though, just hopping on that, how the
Mhm.
studio was marketing it, I think they're probably looking at it as we want to appeal to a larger audience. So if we make it like a horror film, vampire, we know vampires, that's going to attract a lot of people. They're trying to recoup their money. They're trying to make sure they
Mhm.
can make as much money as possible. So I think that's why after a while it's like, okay, cat's out the bag. This is a film that has vampires in it. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but like the trailer itself didn't give anything away, and I feel
Nothing.
like
No.
this was a lot of times in movies nowadays, the trailer basically gives the whole movie away. You know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you're getting when you're going to the
Hmm.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
This was the first trailer I've seen in a long time where I had no idea what the movie was about. And it wasn't until the studio started dropping hints that this was about
Hmm. Yeah.
vampires. I was like, okay, so I know it's a vampire movie. Now, going in, I'm gonna be honest, I thought that Michael B. Jordan was the vampire. And
Mm-hmm.
like that first 10 minutes when they were doing like those spooky scene, a couple jump scares you get in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, Michael B. Jordan is a vampire. But then I should have known the white people was a vampire.
Yeah.
I should have known that. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together, but yeah, so I did like and I appreciated the fact that the trailer didn't give anything away
Nothing at
Right.
all.
initially.
So I'm looking also at this 70 that y'all keep talking about. I was looking on my phone. It says that this is a film format that is significantly larger than the standard 35 or format, resulting in a wider, brighter, and more detailed image. When you compare it to IMAX, it says that they're not exactly the same.
They're
IMAX is
not.
a specific brand that uses a 70 film format, but it's also known for its high resolution and immersive experience. Standard 70 film, while also a large format, doesn't necessarily have the same level of screen size or technology as IMAX.
So that IMAX
Okay.
70 is the biggest then.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
I felt like I was in the movie. I was
Yeah.
in the movie.
You were running with the people for the vampire?
I
There
was
you
in the
go.
juke joint. I was
Yes.
right there.
Yes. So I'm glad. So speaking of overall impressions, I also wanted to get your take. It falls within this theme of how we were talking about variety. we're about to back
Mhm.
and forth between variety and Vanity Fair, but it's really variety. How they were kind of sabotaging the movie at first, talking about how it's gonna be they made this much money. Will they recoup their $90 million budget? And what will they do? It just seemed that some media outlets, and I was listening to this woman by the name of Olayemi Olorin or something like that, and she was saying how it seemed the studios were trying to sabotage this film before it even got out, or when it first was released, they were putting out headlines that were misleading and trying to deter people.
The New York Times actually fixed their mouths to make their headline, "Sinners is a box office success," in brackets, with a big asterisk. Variety reported, quote, "Sinners has amassed $61 million in its global debut. It's a great result for an original R-rated film. Yet, the Warner Brothers release has a $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses, so profitability remains a ways away." Screen Rant said something similar. They reported, quote, "In spite of its enormous box office success, the new horror movie may be facing a major hurdle because the Sinners budget is reportedly $90 million. Ain't that something? The movie made more than half of its budget back opening weekend, but they're talking like it might be a struggle. The funny thing about white supremacy is you can never beat them at their own game because they will change the rules of the game and move the goalposts while you're in the middle of scoring. Sinners is a box office hit, not by my account, but by each and every one of their standards that I listed earlier. But rather than concede that fact, they created a new standard to judge its success by.
Did you get that impression at all?
I
No.
think they tried. Well, I think what was it? Variety.
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 I
Oh,
think
yeah, I want to say
Variety.
Vanity. Yeah.
I think Variety tried. I think they failed because immediately when that came out, even like big names like would quote tweet it or whatever and say, why are y'all doing this? Like the big white actors saw through it immediately. So they tried, but everyone saw what they were trying to do. And from my understanding, a large part why they put out that article was that Ryan Coogler gets the rights back to the movie after a certain amount of time, right?
25 years.
25 years. And so they were, from my understanding, they were trying to say that Variety is upset, or like some of the studios are upset that he wrote that into his contract. And so they're trying to like,
what's wrong with
go
that?
ahead.
You
Go
go,
ahead.
and then
No,
I'll jump in.
that was the end. Yeah, that was the end.
Okay. I was gonna say, and also, studios were mad because in his contract, he got the last editing rights, plus he gets paid before the studio gets paid. So I think that was the biggest part of all of it. He recoups the money before the studio gets paid. So they were like, wait a minute, if this type of contract keeps going around, how can studios make money if the directors get paid before the studio ever receives their money? So I think they were really mad at that. That's why I think that's another reason why they were saying, yo, they only made 60, but 90 is what it costs. But in reality, really 125 when you add in. And I'm like, why do we care about how much it costs? You know? So I
I've
think they
never
were saying
heard
that
them
because
discussing that.
he was making money before the studio even made money. So even though it made 60, he got his cut before they did. And that's not really heard of. It's only two directors, Mel Gibson.
And Christopher Nolan, right?
Well, okay, then there's three. So it's Mel Gibson. He gets to write. He has to write.
Steven Spielberg in there?
No, not Steven. No, and Quentin Tarantino.
Oh. Well, I was gonna say I've never heard. I said it wrong. I've never heard of a situation where different media outlets were reporting as they did with this film ever before. I've never heard them, or I've never seen that before, where they were reporting about, oh, well, it earned this much, but it needs to earn that much. It just seems
I never seen
very
that.
odd.
I never seen that either.
Never seen that.
You know why? There's a lot of movies that flop. Like The Accountant flop.
It did.
If you're listening to the AVIOT podcast on a streaming service, make sure to leave a rating and a review so we can grow our platform.
So Ryan had three stipulations: that he gets the final editing, he gets paid before the studio gets paid, and he gets the rights back to the rights of Sinners after 25 years. So a lot of movie execs didn't like that. But it's like, why don't you just put it in your own contract?
Right. If they didn't like that, then why would they approve the contract?
Exactly.
They approved it.
Yeah.
They're mad that Ryan Coogler is street smart and business savvy.
Yes.
That's how it should be. Why, if he wrote and directed the film, why is a studio company getting the rights or the access to most of the money and most of the rights of the film? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I wrote and directed this thing. I didn't get help from y'all like that.
It's also like, this is the first movie in a long time to have an original IP, is what the people are saying, that's done this well.
That's true.
Most movies that are done this well are either remakes or they're like spin-off of books or other things. Like, this is an original concept.
That is true. That is very true.
I will say, to give another Black creator a shout out, one of the main reasons why I was really eager to see this movie prior to it coming out, and why I stalked AMC for when they were releasing those dates for 70mm the week after Easter, was for a TikToker named Straw Hat Goofy.
Yes.
Straw Hat Goofy does. He does excellent content.
Yes.
And he did.
Who's Straw Hat Goofy?
Straw Hat Goofy is a content creator. I don't know if he does YouTube, but I saw him on TikTok.
He does.
So he does YouTube and TikTok.
And IG.
And Instagram. And he focuses on movie content. And he did long form interview with Ryan Coogler, and he broke it up into smaller segments in which Ryan Coogler was talking about the movie. And I just saw bits and pieces come across my timeline, and it really got me interested in wanting to watch the movie. The first thing I saw was Ryan Coogler saying that the villains, the vampires, he got inspiration for the vampires from the Puss in Boots, the Last
Yeah,
Wish movie.
from Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
And I love that movie. And I was like, okay, so what is this movie going to be about? And that really got me down the rabbit hole of the interview. So Straw Hat Goofy really is the one that got me interested in that interview with Ryan Coogler, got me really interested in watching Sinners. And by the time I wanted to see it Easter weekend, it was sold out. So then I had to see it the next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But
Now,
yeah, he was the one.
Did you watch the entire interview?
I watched it in pieces.
So
and then I went back and rewatched his recap of the movie.
Okay, so I watched the entire interview, but this is after I saw the movie. And in the entire interview, he actually said meeting Ryan Coogler during, I think, the Black Panther premiere. I don't know if it was for Wakanda Forever or the first one, but he said Ryan Coogler was the one that actually inspired him to do these long form videos and kind of jump-started his career. Yeah, because Ryan Coogler asked him, he's like, okay, so what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm just making videos. He's like, yeah, but what are you? Sorry, my screen did something. He's like,
Okay.
because no, I was saying something and then y'all came off the screen, so I'm just like, oh, geez, what happened now? But sorry, y'all, thunderstorm. But he was asking, he said, well, what are you doing though? Like, what are you actually doing? What is your goal? What are you trying to get from this?
I'm telling you, bro, you're the reason why this podcast exists, to be honest. I'm pretty sure I told you this before, but that time where it was at the missing red carpet, like, I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. Like, I was like not feeling it that day. Like, I was kind of tired. I was kind of like beat and whatnot. Like, I think I just moved into a new spot, and I was there just kind of like, see a movie, kind of get out of my head a little bit. And when you was there, like, you was the same way, like, very caring, very kind, like, very humble. And, we were chopping it up there, and you asked me this question that was like, that really, like, in a way changed my brain chemistry, where you said, like, you're making cool videos and everything, but what are you trying to do with it? And it wasn't like you were pressing me, but you were like genuinely curious about that. And like, it was that question that made me go, damn, like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. Like, I am just kind of like out here just making videos just to make them. But like, if I want to like create something out of it, what am I doing? So like, I sat there and I thought about it for a long, long time.
That's crazy, bro.
And so that's when I was like, yo, like, a podcast would be really cool. Like, I do love yapping about film, and I like yapping about the people who make it. And, once we started getting that ball rolling, I texted you. I said, hey, you're the reason why this whole thing exists. Like, I would love it if you could be on. And once again, you came through and said, hey, whatever happens, we're going to make this happen. Like, here's some information, and now we're here.
And so it made him think, and he decided to do a podcast, and he decided to do these long form videos. So he credited Ryan Coogler with jumpstarting his career.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's a great content creator, and I hope he does more. I followed him after that. I was
Can I
like,
be your movie guy?
Yeah, it's a great tagline.
Oh, that's him?
Yeah, that's him. Yeah,
the
that's
black
him.
dude with the,
The
what's
glasses,
funny?
yeah.
So I followed him, and I followed him ever since I joined TikTok, probably a few years ago. And you're right. He went from a nobody to, once you said, can I be your movie guy? I'm like, that's him.
Mhm.
At first, I was like, who are they talking about? Because I remember at one point, some scandal happened, and he said or did something, it had something to do with a movie or something. So he fell back. He fell off my timeline for a minute, but as I guess whatever happened is cleared up. And it's nothing that he did wrong. It's just something, like sometimes when you align yourself with a corporation or something, and then that corporation does something bad, now you are in trouble, but you didn't do it. It was something like that. But you're right. He is the one that really made me also like the movie, and was more, and to be honest with you, I think that and the advertising, because it never really showed anything. It just said Sinners. Or you might hear something in the background, but it never really, because remember, when Sinners first came out, I think they started showing it last year, and then it left. Like, they stopped promoting it. And then once 2025 came up, I want to say, so if it came out in April, February is when they started bringing it up again. And I'm like, what the hell is this damn Sinner shit? Like, what is it about? So, but you're right. Yeah, he did an excellent job too.
He did an
excellent job.
I hope he gets a nice cut.
Yeah, right. Because he asked that Asian lady some good questions too.
Yeah, the one that played Grace.
Yeah.
I feel like it takes a lot nowadays to get people to the movie theater, especially if you live in a major city like me. The movies are not cheap. The movie out here costs $25 a ticket.
Yeah.
IMAX costs $32 a ticket. You
Yeah.
got to pay a lot of money to get people in the theater.
Yeah,
God
with
forbid you want to
streaming,
get some popcorn or something like a snack.
You can't get
yeah,
no
and then
popcorn.
they upcharge
You gotta
off
bring in
dinner.
your own. You gotta
But
bring in
with-
your own popcorn.
with streaming and with the being comfortable at home, having easy access to everything, why go to the movies? A lot of times
Right.
we'll just wait for it to come out and then we'll watch it. That's how I feel about a lot of these Marvel movies nowadays, right? However,
Oh, especially Thunderbolt. Oof.
I actually
Was
did
it-
see that, but there's a long
Was
story
it
behind
good?
why I saw it. It's a feel good movie, and it's a nice bridge between what has happened and what is to come. It's more of like it's like Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's a
Well,
bridge.
Gotcha.
is it worth my $20?
No.
No.
Okay,
I'm telling you right now. No.
I'll wait to come up
No.
with
Disney.
streaming.
When Disney do it, then yeah, Disney.
I'll see it on Disney.
Just pivoting real quick. Yelena, that is one of the only consistent characters in Marvel who delivers every time. Florence Pugh, the way she plays Yelena, delivers every time.
Yes.
Very
Yes, she
consistent.
does.
And the one that does the dad from Black Widow, the dad,
Yes.
he's
Mhm.
good too. He's good.
Yes.
Like those two, they're the standouts in the film. They're the standouts by far.
I bet.
But
They'll
going back
stand
to
out on the
Sinners,
last time. But yeah, back to Sinners.
because we could get into a whole diatribe about that. Going into this whole thing, Taylor, you were talking about the white people being vampires. Jay, you were talking about the marketing being sinners. I want to get into themes of this film. What are themes that came out or stuck out to you when you watched this, and even thinking about it afterwards? Because I remember when I saw it and I came out the theater, I was like, oh my goodness, there's so much to unpack. My mind was in overdrive because there was so much to think about. There's so many messages that were coming out, so many things that you didn't even consider. Then you watch the videos online, you're like, oh, shoot, I didn't even consider this. What is your take regarding themes from the film?
White people try to take everything black people have.
Even the
That's
Irish.
That's the main theme.
Even the Irish.
The Irish are,
Yeah.
but the Irish are like us. I think they're the most closely aligned to us, though, right? Isn't that why he was Irish?
They're not closely aligned. The thing is, I remember I had a coworker before, and I was talking to him about slavery. He's like, well, the Irish were enslaved too. I'm like, no, they weren't. They were indentured servants. That's
I gotta
different.
learn more about the Irish. When he
Indentured
did that
servants.
jig, though, let me tell you
Oh,
something.
yeah.
When Remy did that jig, I said, hey, I might have came out the juke joint for
But the
that
song
jig.
was horrible though. That song was horrible.
I might have came out the juke joint
You
for
see how
that jig.
cornbread? Cornbread. Cornbread
Yeah.
was effing it up, man. Cornbread was killing it.
Yeah.
That jig was serious.
Cornbread was killing it. No
Apparently, though, Jay,
With his
apparently
blown up
that's-
face.
apparently that song is like their ancestral song. Like that's a song they all know. It's
Pick
like
Boy Robin Clean, that song?
Yeah,
or the one that they
no.
were dancing around the fire.
the jig song, the one
The
that
one
gets
that
by the
song.
fire. Apparently,
Yeah.
that's like they
I kinda
wade in the
figured that.
water.
And shout out to Ryan for actually allowing that to play out, because that could have if you weren't really into the movie, I think that scene when the Irish people were out there showing their heritage, and the blues inside, it
Mhm.
kind of threw me off when I saw
Oh, the juke joint
a
The
Jimi
juke joint
Hendrix.
scene?
Yeah, it threw me off when I saw Jimi Hendrix and I saw the DJ, but then I had
Sorry.
to say, okay, I see what they're doing. They're trying to say blues started all of it. But
Jay
still,
and Tay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That has to be one of the best, if not the best scene I've ever seen in cinema. Seriously.
that's so funny. I'm still 50-50 with that.
Nah.
It still throws me off. Like I understand why they had to do it. I mean, I'm not why. I understand why they did it, but still, I feel kind of like if it was one scene, I think it dragged on too long. Like I understood what they're trying to say is from blues came all of this. I get it, but I didn't understand what the Chinese people were doing.
So they
Like, that
talked
threw
about
me
it.
off.
They said it in the beginning of the film. They're saying that some people, their musical abilities, you're funny. Some of their musical abilities can conjure up spirits of the past and the present. So it's not to say that blues started all this. It's saying that Sammy's gift of playing that specific type of music, because it's a specific type of blues, right? It's not just the blues, it's a specific type. It was able to conjure spirits from the past And that's why Remick wanted him, because he's like, oh, I can see my ancestors. That's why you had the Chinese heritage of the past in there. And it can let you see into the future. So have you ever had music that you listen to and just get you into this like trance-like state? And it's like you just gone. Like think about if you're in a club and you really listen to some music and you feeling it and you just out of it. I think that's what it was trying to connect to. That kind of you're having a spiritual experience. And so that's why they were doing that.
And I get it. And that's why, like, when that part came on, even the second time I watched it, I'm like, all right, cool. I get it. All right, we're going to just move on. So then when I see Remick, I'm like, all right, okay, I guess I understand why they got to have him if we just had our own damn 15 minutes of fame.
You got to have him jigging. That scene killed me when he was over there doing that Irish. I said, "Oh, come on!"
He was killing it though. He was killing it with that little.
He
was killing it.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, let me learn how to do that."
Yeah, nah,
appropriation.
But
for
Tim,
me,
what do you think of that scene in the juke joint?
Ooh, oh, Tay? Okay.
I liked it. I liked that scene. When it first happened, because my screen was real big. I just want y'all to understand. The screen was huge. So at first I was overwhelmed because it was a lot. Like Jay said, when you're in the IMAX, there's a lot of sound. You surrounded by the sound.
It's a lot of sound.
And it's a huge screen. So at first I was overwhelmed. But then I understood and I really liked it. But like the first 15, 20 seconds of it, I was overwhelmed. I said, there's a lot happening at once. Because you kind of go from the juke joint immediately into the scene.
Yeah.
Which is a great, and it's a great piece of cinema, but when you go, it's a quick transition. You gotta adjust. So I think it's great, and I understand why I was there, and it really demonstrated the core meaning of the movie. So I really liked it. I thought it was great. I thought it was great. The Asian people did throw me off at first a little bit, but I understood why they was there.
Yeah, I understood it too, but I was just like,
they did throw me off. I said, okay, I get it, but it just threw me off a little bit.
It's because Grace and Bo are in there.
Yeah, I understand. That's why it was there, but it just threw me off. I said, wait a minute.
If they weren't in there, then you wouldn't have seen them. I think, though, it speaks to a larger power of Black music from any generation. We can go back to the tribes over on the African continent, all the way up to present day. Black music is the core piece behind everybody's experience. Even we could take it and bring it to Black American culture specifically. Everybody on this planet copies Black American culture or tries to replicate it somehow, right? Obviously, we have our roots on the African continent. So yes, we're going to be tied to Africa no matter what. That's what it is. I'm just saying what we were able to do here with everything we lost and what we gained and what we had to develop, everybody is trying to grab a piece of that. And I think that is encapsulated within there. You're giving, Sammy's playing his music. You have the music of the past. They were doing, I think, the Igbo and Yoruba tribes. I think it was more so Yoruba. And they were having that music. And then you see how this blues, it goes into the 80s. It goes into the 90s, scratching music. Everything's a building point. And it really, to be honest, it starts with the hymns and gospel. You do that, then you get to the blues, right? I always say, replace when people say, oh, baby, replace that with Jesus. Oh, Jesus, right? It's the same thing. It's literally...
Hey, but I want to challenge you on something.
Go ahead.
So remember when, was it Slim, right?
Slim?
Who was the guy who played the harmonica? I'm sorry, the harmonica.
Oh, yeah, Slim. Okay.
The piano. Slim, right?
Yeah.
Slim said it the best. When they took us, this is what we came here with. Meaning, when they took us from our for our native land and brought us over here, we came with this, meaning because we were, think about it, we didn't know anything. Once again, like you said again, it goes back to our African ancestors, how we took that music and brought it over here. Christianity was something different. That's why I said I challenge you on Christianity. I think it's more of blues as far as, like he said it himself, blues is us. Christianity, they threw on us. They didn't throw blues on us. We came here with that.
So I'm not saying Christianity. I said what I said. I said hymns and gospel, right? I said that. I'm not necessarily tying that to Christianity.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, you tie to Christianity. I'm saying that's the music that's coming out. Like you think of like the enslaved songs and all that stuff, and that ties into the gospel-esque experience. Out
Gotcha.
of
Okay.
that
So we say
comes
gospel, you're not
blues.
really tying it to the church. You're just saying
No, and I'm tying it to the church. No.
basically the blues or how we were feeling.
You're talking about the
like,
music, like the actual
Yeah.
musical
actual
chords
music.
of the
Actual-
the
yeah.
gospel.
Correct.
The actual
Right.
like
because like
gospel
even on the
chords.
chain line, remember when they were
Yeah.
just working
Mhm.
and they always found a way to turn something to a song.
But you look at it like this. Oh Lord, what shall I do? Like those hymns that we
Yeah.
would sing in church back in the day. Those were slave hymns. Those are hymns from the enslaved folk that were like calling out to God to help them out. Right? It was adopted by the church, what we know today. And then out of that, you get the blues because you have people that were going away from church and they're like, I want to make this other music. So you see that issue with Sammy. Sammy wants to do something outside of the church. And that's why in the beginning of the movie, you see that parallel with his father and Remick. It's a parallel because they're both trying to pull him to their side. His father wants him to be a slave to the church. Remick wants him to be a slave to vampirism, right?
Mhm.
And so out of that, Sammy decides to make his own decision and he decides to become a great blues musician, right? I'm just saying you do the blues. From the blues, you get funk and disco. I think funk comes first and then funk, and then you can put some rock and roll, some country music, all that's in there, woven in there. From that, you get disco, you get hip hop from that. And now we have what we have today.
No, I agree.
Let's talk about Can we talk about how Sammy walked in that church bloodied with a scrape across his face, and his dad didn't say, "Oh, are you okay?" He talking about you got a demon in you, sir. I'm bloodied.
Damn.
Sometimes, man, people be taking that religion
That's
to
church.
the next level.
That's church culture. You know that.
What
Yeah.
are we talking about? Do you not see that I am in danger?
You know
I
that's
am
church
limping.
culture.
I look like I look like I had a rough night. My guitar is just a piece of stick. And you talking about drop it. Can I tell you my story?
Like, don't you see I got scrapes? It looks like nails have been scraped across my face.
Yeah.
I think it's a
The
tough
only
love
person
scenario.
that had a real reaction was the mama. Hey.
Right.
Remember when he came
That's
in, the
about-
mom screamed?
He's talking about drop it, release it. Release what? I need help.
Yeah.
I need a
I'm confused.
doctor.
I
It's a
think if
tough
dad
love.
wasn't so aggressive, he probably wouldn't have had chose right then and there. He probably still would have went and left. But dad was
Yeah.
aggressive. The dad was trying
It's
to like
too
pull on a
much.
stunt. Like, hey,
much.
this is my time. I see you weak. You looking like you hurt. The hell with your scars. Hey, listen, this right here is good for the church.
And you still
Yeah.
bleeding, and you
can say
talking
a
about
testimony.
drop it.
Yeah.
What?
Good testimony, and it didn't work in his favor because he drove off holding that damn
Right.
guitar.
Yeah, I think the guitar itself, I haven't really unpacked the symbolism behind that, but I
That
feel
guitar
like
saved his life.
it
It
did.
did.
It did. In
Saved
more
his
ways
life.
than one. It saved them against Remick and
Let me tell
his trajectory.
you, when Sammy was saying the Lord's Prayer and then Remick started reciting it, I said, "Oh no, this is
Yeah.
serious."
Yeah. Remember
I
how to let
know
him know,
what-
listen,
I
I was
know
once
what
where
to
you
do.
were at.
I don't know what to do in that theater. I said, "Oh no."
But you know, for those of us who grew up in the church, we know the Bible to a certain degree, right? The devil knows scripture too.
I said,
Yeah.
"This is a demon."
Yeah. And I'm
Mhm.
glad they put that in there. And that's why all these Christians out here talking about, oh, this movie's
Oh,
anti-Christian.
yes. That right there pissed him off because
They were saying that.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
ain't see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I ain't
Chris was
seen
a
none of
piss.
that.
Jay, go ahead. Phil Taylor in. Go ahead.
No, I was say they was pissed at that scene. They was also pissed at the scene when Sammy chose blues over the church. They were pissed at that scene too because they were like, nah, that wasn't called for. Like this, it's like, yo, the movie's called Sinners, and for all the people that's having a problem, they sinning the most. So shut up,
Right.
shut up. You
True.
sinning the most.
True.
So,
And-
That
but
was
yeah, nah,
crazy.
Tay, a lot of church folks were like, don't go see Sinners
I'm
unless you go
surprised they
pray.
saw it. I'm surprised
That's
they
what I'm
went to
saying.
go
Unless
see
you go
it.
pray. Like they
well,
go
they
see
probably
it.
thought it was something different because, like you said, the commercials ain't give much away.
Why would
but
they go to
kinda
see
knew.
a
You know what? They probably
R-rated
didn't go
horror
see
movie?
Michael B. Jordan. Sinners.
Yeah, they would go see Michael B. Jordan.
Can we talk?
that was it.
Twins.
Can we talk about the love interest. I feel like we need to unpack that Smoke's relationship with Annie and Stack's relationship with Mary, because I have my whole take on that, but I wanted to get your point of view.
And now for a quick commercial break.
Hey guys, as you can hear, we are unapologetic in our opinions. We may be politically incorrect or possibly wrong, but don't knock us for being ourselves and saying what many are too afraid to admit out loud. Anyways, if you have any thoughts or questions about our show, email us at chemistryproductions@gmail.com. That's K3MISTRY productions@gmail.com. We'll be sure to address whatever you have to say.
The love interest. I love them both. Did you know that Annie is British?
I didn't know till after the film.
I did.
I didn't know the girl
Lovecraft.
played
You ever
that
saw it
role.
on Lovecraft?
She played that role so
she was on
well.
Lovecraft?
Yes. She was
she
one of the
in
main
Lovecraft?
characters.
She was in Lovecraft.
Yes.
That was a great show. I'm so
Yes,
mad
it was.
that didn't
I
get
know
a
of
second season.
Suckers.
I know it from Loki.
That should have got a second
yes.
season. Yeah, she's in Loki. Lovecraft should have got a second season.
It should have, but it would have really ruffled a lot of feathers, so they couldn't allow it to happen.
Why? Because the Tulsa?
No, because season 2 was gonna. So the creator of Lovecraft, she showed kind of like a snippet of what they were going to focus on season 2, and on season 2, they had a map, and the green represented the Negro territory, and then they had this little white spot, and that's where the white people live. So automatically, so it was like, nah, we can't. Like, I don't know where you going, lady, but we ain't gonna have this happen.
Nothing
So
to
they
empower
just
the
canceled it.
Negroes. Nothing to empower the blacks. I see.
No,
That
not
was
at
a
all. So they
great
stopped
show.
that.
Oh, R.I.P.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Majors.
But I didn't know she was
R.I.P.
British till after the movie. I ain't know.
Yeah. But no.
Yeah.
But Tay, as you were saying, Tay, so Annie.
Oh, Annie was great, but I was going to say Haley Steinfeld really impressed me. And here's the thing about Haley that impressed me. At first, I was like, why did they cast this white woman in this movie? And then I told Jared this before. I said, as the movie started to go on, I said, is she really a white woman? She might be a little biracial. Toward the end of the movie, she started playing that role a little too well.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where as soon as I left that theater, I had to Google, is Haley biracial? So I will say that I think that they were a great juxtaposition of each other, like their characters and how they played it. And I think they both played it extremely well. Annie is clearly a better character than Mary was.
Yes.
But they played both of their roles perfectly in the movie. And I think everyone was appropriately cast.
Sidebar, you know that Haley is actually, she has a black, her grandfather is part black.
Like half black or quarter black or something.
No, half black, half Filipino.
Half black. Yeah, her grandpa's half black.
Yes.
So we got a little bit.
So
it's going down.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna be going after she had this kid with Joe Burrow. It's a wrap.
Not pitch
Joe
perfect
Burrows,
Haley.
come on, man. You know Josh Allen, that man.
Sorry,
Josh,
my bad.
Not Joe Burrow.
They both the same person to me.
They're not. There's a distinct difference between Josh
both
Allen and
Joe
Burrow.
Cool is Joe Cool.
Yeah, they're different.
They're both the same person to me.
Jared, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are two different white men.
Josh Allen look like he's happy to be with Haley. Joe Burrow look like he just wear shades all day with her. Be like, whatever. You coming or going.
Wow.
But yes, you're right. In terms of the casting, there were no misses. Everybody hit. Everybody met
I
their
agree.
mark.
Everybody agree. No, I agree. And I do believe that Annie had a better, stronger, more memorable, for me, role.
Yeah.
Performance by far. You know, she was the brightest out of all of them, right? Because she was the one that came up with like, nah, tell them the truth, you dead. Like, everybody's like, what the hell she mean? Like, you know, like nobody didn't know what she was talking about. I think from the first time she's introduced, when Smoke goes and pay respect to his daughter, you know, you look at this woman, and it's so funny. My wife was like, "Did you get mommy, like a mom vibe from her?" I said, "Nah, I didn't get a mom vibe, but I didn't know who she was, but I didn't get, you know, that was his mother, because you know they always talked about the dad, never really talked about the mother." So from that scene when they were introduced again, and she talked to him and said basically, you know, that Mojo that he wears over his chest, which played a significant part towards the end. You see, especially when I seen it the second time, I said, "Oh, I didn't see that the first time." Fast forward, you know what I'm talking about. The fight scene with him and his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came back. Mary, I could have done without Mary. The only reason why I could have done without Mary, because Mary sounded like the typical person that overdo it. And what I mean by
That's the
that is
point.
she
That's the
overdid
point.
it though. Yeah,
That was the point.
I know that's the point, but I've seen a bunch of Marys, man, that just be overdoing it because they date outside their race, and it's like I feel like for anybody, black or white, you could date outside your race. That don't mean you gotta like overhype it.
Is it really outside her race though?
Because she was
an
technically
octoroon?
no, but I think in the movie she's supposed to be white passing. Like she's actually
Exactly.
half
So
black
she's
in the
white
movie.
passing.
But she is
Exactly.
in real life. She's white passing
But no,
because
in real life she's white.
no, she's
Thank you.
white, but she has the same DNA
I think,
that she did
what's
in the
her name?
movie.
But I know. I think in the movie she's
Harry
white
White is
passing.
more black than she is.
No, in the movie.
What's her name? Megan?
Megan.
Yeah.
But I think in the movie she's supposed to be half black, half white.
Oh no.
In the movie she's the same makeup as she is in real life.
Yeah, half black.
No, she said her grandfather is half black in the movie.
Did she?
Yeah, so she's supposed to be
Yes.
biracial. That's what Taylor's
her
saying.
grandfather is half black.
Wait,
That doesn't
in the
make her
movie
biracial.
she said her grandfather was half black. Are we sure?
I believe so. Yes,
Yeah,
in the
she
movie.
did.
In the
She
movie,
did.
she said her grandfather is half black. So she has
she
the
did.
same makeup in the movie that she does in real life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No.
Yes.
I know that's why I was kind of like, somebody lying.
Yeah.
I smell somebody lying. But yeah, so
yeah, that's why I
So-
said she's a quote unquote octoroon because that
But
means that she's an eighth black.
I think that like she's annoying in the movie, but it's on purpose because she thought when she went out to talk to them vampires and
Oh.
Remy. Although Remy, I know we're supposed to hate Remy, but I liked him as a character. He was
No,
funny.
she was an
no,
opt
no,
out. She could
no.
opt in and out. She
No,
could
no.
definitely.
Remy was funny.
Remick
He
is
was
the worst.
funny.
He's the worst.
He was funny. But anyway, she went out to talk to him because you could tell she thought, well, I'm clearly, white passing, and I will be the one to save everybody because my skin will protect me from any danger. So I'm gonna go out and protect all you black people inside. And she the first one to turn.
First one to turn.
But you know who I blame?
Cornbread ain't paying attention.
No, Cornbread, that was
not.
dumb. That was dumb on Cornbread part.
Yeah,
why
come
you
on in.
Why you going to go pee in the middle in the woods?
No, he let her in.
No, he let her in. That was the dumb part.
I'm
But
talking about
also,
even when he
didn't
got
know.
turned too.
Well, he didn't know. That's all he used to do.
He
They
didn't
used to
know.
shit in the woods. Where else he gonna pee at?
Right.
It wasn't
He
a
didn't
bathroom
know.
in that spot.
Yeah, see, he ain't had no sense because even Smoke has sense when the white folk came in the first place. I feel like Stack would have let them in. Be like, okay, come on.
Yeah, that's different between Stack and Smoke. Stack was trusting, and Smoke didn't trust nobody.
Well, Stack's the one that, if you ask me, Stack is the one that messed everything up because Smoke told Stack to get rid of Mary. He
I
said,
agree.
get that girl out of here.
Yeah.
That was the problem. And that's why I say with Stack was in denial. And I think if Stack would have been true to himself, the whole situation probably would have been a different movie. But because he was denying the fact that he cared for her, he allowed her to stay. And allowing her to stay and allowing her to be in the space when Remick and them came and they're hearing about money, and then her, meaning Mary and Stack, go off the side and be like, you know what? I think we should go see what they're talking about. You see, it wasn't Stack and his brother. It was Stack and Mary trying to come up with a quick get-rich scheme because, once again, why? Remember Stack told her, we about to be broke.
Right.
So she's like, no, let me save you. Like Taylor said, let me save you. You
Let
see,
me
the first he
save you.
get bit. And then,
And then Cornbread's
Stack,
so dumb to let her in.
yeah, and then Stack, he's so dumb because he see her and all that she got to say is sexual whatever. And he like, okay, let's go have sex. And then remember she was drooling? He said, what's that coming out your mouth? She said, you want some? He's like, yeah. I said, oh, shit. Dude. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you true to yourself.
Did she really drool in Michael B. Jordan's mouth?
I think so. They said that was real.
I wonder how Josh Allen feel. That was crazy.
They said Josh Allen was
I don't
sick to
give a
his
damn if
stomach.
that was juice. That's disgusting.
They said Josh Allen was sick to his
The
stomach.
way the sex scenes were in this during film and they didn't have to show any nudity, I feel it was stronger than any sex scene I've seen in a movie with actual nudity. Like the sex scene, they hit. Everything hit. Especially Preacher Boy. When Preacher Boy went down on what's her name? Pearline?
Yeah.
Well, they say Ryan Coogler is a lover boy. His wife is pregnant with his third kid.
Hey.
Yeah, the running theme was going down on women. That was the running theme. Everybody's getting licked. Even the Chinese lady loved it.
Yeah.
Poor Chinese lady. Okay, this is another call for having a movie in the theaters and going to see them. The audience, I don't know how y'all audience was, but my audience was
very
like
black.
It's like 80% black. I would say 75% black.
Folk are the best people to go to the film.
And they were the best people to see the movies with, because when Grace let the people in,
everybody
was like,
yeah, everybody was like, see, you can't trust them. What the fuck?
The way the entire movie growed.
Yeah, everybody's like, why you say that?
Theater.
Why you do that? Yeah.
Said,
Grace,
everybody was mad.
Grace lucky she don't get beat up in real life, because to this day it's like, yo, Grace. So Grace really showed us how, at the end of the day, let's be honest. I hate to be the divide and conquer thing, but
ain't no dividing.
Grace showed us.
Ain't no dividing if it's true.
Grace showed us that at the end of the day, regardless on how everybody want to be down, it's that true saying, everybody want to be black until the cops come.
Yes.
Grace is cool when she making that money, but when we really need them, we're our allies. There ain't some reason they be like, because Grace even said to herself, we didn't come here for that.
Right.
Remember? Grace is like, we didn't come here for that. And her husband was like, I know. She was like, she killed her husband.
She did.
Both sides never went and got that car.
She did.
Right. She said, go get the car.
Yep. We just saw Stack get shot, Mary get shot, and run out laughing. Nobody could find Cornbread. And what's his name? I forgot his name. And
which one?
Slim?
The harmonica guy. I called his name the first time.
No, but Slim didn't die then.
No. I know Slim didn't die, but I'm saying, and Slim is the wrong person to be, because even Camilla Smoke was like, yo, where's Cornbread? He went outside to go pee. He left you to the door. Because listen, let me tell you something. Slim, hands down, the funniest. He made that movie when it came to the comedy.
Yeah. Slim was funny. Between Slim and Cornbread were really a great tag team.
Yeah, they were.
Cornbread's wife probably wondered what happened to him.
She the one that did it.
That was sad.
No, but she the one that told him to go.
That's sad though, because she needed money.
Yeah. Somebody said it the best. Cornbread never got to put his pecker in his wife's mouth.
Cornbread dead. Okay, but so did we confirm that when Remy died, all the rest of them burn up?
No, it's because they were in the sun. They were in the sun.
It was the sun. That's why you saw Mary get the hell out of Dodge. Mary done found her hole to run under, and word is Stack was in the
house,
in the shed.
Yeah, in the shed,
in the juke joint. He locked him in the juke joint.
Yeah.
So no, because what Annie said was right. Just you kill one, that don't mean anything. You got it. They all are. So they did feel Remick pain when the guitar went in his head, but they died because the sun.
I'm so sad about
Remick didn't tell him the rules to the shit.
I'm so sad about Pearline. I said, dang, Sammy had his little sexual experience, and now Pearline gone.
Pearline dead.
But she protected him though, because she's the one that pushed him out the way, and she got bit. Remember?
Yeah. No, I remember. And listen, he paid her back. He had that club called Pearline.
Yeah. Do you think he ever found love again?
No. I think he found love with that guitar.
I agree. Probably calling up her ghost when he plays. Probably calling up her ghost when he plays whole time.
What, the club was called Pearline?
Yeah.
Yes.
I must have missed that in the movie.
How you missed that?
I don't know. There was a lot going on.
It did look kind of empty though.
The club was empty. Also, the screen was big. I need y'all to understand the screen was big. There's a lot going on. I got to see it again.
Listen,
when I tell you,
I feel your pain because when I went to the IMAX, my screen was like, it wasn't big, but that shit was so loud, man. You're right. It was overwhelming. So I just imagine seeing a big ass screen and feel like you're part of it, and the music is loud as hell. You're like, yo, what is going on here?
I was in the movie, Jay, for real. That first scene when the screen sorry, Jared, I cut you off.
No,
there's a scene when they're driving, Smoke and Stack, when the screen goes from widescreen to full screen in the IMAX. That right there, I said, "Oh no, I'm in the movie now for real. I'm really in it."
Yeah.
I'm right driving down the road with them.
Yeah, you know that Ryan Coogler actually talked to Christopher Nolan in order to get some advice on how to shoot in this format.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so it's nice that he gave him some of that advice. I really think Ryan Coogler, I know we're going to say this to our third theme, but I think Ryan Coogler will, when it's all said and down, go down as one of the best directors in history.
Will he get the Oscar nom is the question.
Well,
Oscars do not define us, but it should.
No, but Sinners should definitely, he should get something for Sinners.
Michael B. Jordan alone should get a darn Oscar.
The way he played those twins.
I forgot it was him. I really thought it was two separate people.
Me too.
I really thought it was two separate people.
Me too.
I'm still looking for Michael C. Jordan at these interviews.
Well, do we think that one of them was supposed to be Jonathan Majors? That's the word on the street.
No. Imagine that.
I think that had Chadwick Boseman still been alive, I think he would have been more. I think
Chad,
in these projects.
That was a good movie. I think Chadwick killed it. Michael did a great job, but Chadwick just took it to the whole man. The thing about Chad is that when Chad acted, he was that role that he was playing. It's not too many actors that can actually play a role and you don't see him. Say, like, for instance, sometimes Denzel, as good as he is, sometimes I still see Training Day Denzel.
Yep.
Especially you start the cussing.
Yep.
We start the cussing, I'm like, oh shit, it's Training Day.
Yep. That new joint he got coming out with Spike Lee, I'm like, that looks good.
But it looked like Training Day. Yeah. Now, when is it coming out? Only it's coming out soon.
I don't know. It's coming out at some point.
Yeah. I'm going to see it, though.
But just getting back to the film, I think that another theme, and y'all touched on this before, this whole thing of not inviting others into your space. Because if we really look at the movie, right, in a microscope, essentially it is Black people just trying to open up a club and enjoy themselves, and a white person saying, I want some of that. Like, seriously, it's like, can you leave us alone? And I think that's why it resonates with so many people, because this is literally our lives. We be trying to do our own thing, and people just want to insert themselves in our life. Like, leave us alone.
Mommy asked me what was the theme of the movie, and I said it was white people trying to mind Black people business.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's a theme of the movie.
Remy Cott just walked on by. He literally walked on by. But he saw, oh, shoot, I see this guy, whoever's playing, is bringing up ancestors. I don't think anybody else see this, but I see something that no one else sees. I want that. Not, can you play this for me again? No, I want to own that.
Right.
And I'm going to be in charge. I'm going to own you once I turn you.
And people talk about Remick is a good character. I'm like, bruh, the first people he turned with a clan. he had clan members with him.
He did turn a clan.
Like, stop
but then he got offended when they asked if he was clan.
He said, oh, sir, we believe in equality.
We believe in equality.
Exactly.
That was funny. That was funny. No, sir, we believe in equality.
He said, we're evil, but we're not monsters.
We're not.
Exactly. Like, go figure.
But we believe in equality.
And then even with the outsiders coming in, right, with the Grace thing, there are people writing articles talking about Grace wasn't in the wrong, and they're talking about she was thinking about her kid. I made a video and I was saying, and I put it on our social media platform, and I was saying, here's the issue. If you're worried about your daughter, why would you kill yourself in the darn fight? Why didn't you think about, oh, I should protect myself so I could get back to my daughter? Right?
No, you're right. But you know why? But she killed only one person, Bo.
Ridiculous.
Well, because Bo
she only
had
killed Bo.
return.
She was focused on Bo. Bo, you son of a bitch.
She the one that did it. She the one that caused him to turn.
No, I agree, and I do believe the theory of if it was Bo versus her, Bo wouldn't have Bo wouldn't have betrayed the brothers like that.
No.
Because when it's all
No.
said and done, she
No.
gained nothing from. She really gained nothing from allowing them to come in because they could have either A, waited it out, or B, they kind of came up with another plan. But, once again, it's Hollywood. Somebody had to let them in because all the rest of us, we wasn't letting them in.
Nope.
Right.
You saw what we did to the drunk guy who we thought that was dead, right? But his ass, then they couldn't find out he was drunk.
I said, this is very black coded because that's exactly what black folk would do. They're like,
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? When Stack died, could nobody touch that. But when that black stranger died, all right, let's get that body out of here. Get that body out of here. We don't know him. We ain't loyal to him. But Stack died, he was like, nobody touches Stack. Nobody.
Well,
touches
So Stack trying to bust through that door.
Speaking of which, are we in agreement that, and it makes me even think about how the vampires operated, because yes, they kill, but they kill and convert you to a vampire. So I think that even though they had this hive mind thing with Remick, I think that each vampire specifically, they had enough sense to kind of act on their own accord. Because Stack specifically went for Annie and Smoke because he's like, that's my family. I want to turn them so we can all be together. And then when Smoke kills Annie, then Mary and Stack, they're upset. Because that shows that they have their working conscious memory of what they want. Like they have their own mission.
Oh yeah, they not like the mushroom people from Last of Us.
Yeah, definitely not like that.
They not like them. They have working memories. You never seen Last of Us?
No, I never seen it.
You've never seen the mushroom people? Oh yeah, they crazy.
We know Last of Us. You know what? Sidebar, good show, but I'm not liking season 2 so far.
It's just a little slow, but you know why, Jay? Because they said there's going to be multiple seasons for The Last of Us Part 2, so they got more time.
Multiple seasons for
because it's based on a video game, so there's Part 1 and Part 2 video game. But they said Part 2 is going to be multiple seasons, so they're dragging it out. Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, they dragging it out too. They're dragging it out, and the scene was silly. We can talk about that later. Last night's scene was just bad writing all around.
But bringing it back, I think that if you look at how each vampire is acting, everybody has their own motive, right? Bo specifically comes back for Grace. Stack specifically wants Smoke and Annie. Well, he wants Smoke. So that's why he bit Annie. He bit Annie, right?
Yeah, he bit Annie.
Yeah, so he bit Annie because he's like, that's the only way I can get Smoke. So it's like, and then Mary, she ain't go for anybody else. She specifically went for Stack. So if we look at how everybody's acting, I feel that they're all acting. It's like they're listening to the devil on their shoulder versus the angel on their shoulder. Even Cornbread, I feel like Cornbread's like, dang, y'all converted me to a vampire. I'm pissed. So now I'm about to get all of y'all because I can't go back to my wife now.
You could have, though.
I think that's how they're operating.
He just converted his wife.
He could have.
Yeah, I know.
think he's
guess
irritated.
what? No, but guess what? Thank God he didn't because what happened to that baby?
Oh, the
Does it
baby
come out looking like Blade?
Yeah, probably Blade.
Like Blade?
Yeah, probably Blade.
remember? That's how Blade came out.
Yeah, that's how Blade came
got
out.
bit by a vampire.
Did you know that Blade's actually supposed to be mixed race?
No, he's too black.
No,
What race is supposed to
in
be
the
mixed
comics, Blade is
Black and
supposed to
black?
be mixed race. Yes, his father is a white vampire. Yes.
When he messed up when he got Wesley.
Oh yeah,
You couldn't sell that.
So any last
Wesley
thing
did a
before I
great
get into
job,
the
though.
next
Yeah.
theme, before I get into the next part of this episode of
Nah,
this
get to the
podcast
next part. What's
okay.
up?
What do you think is going to be the lasting impact of this movie? Because you see people like Jay, you've gone back to see it a second time. I've been fiending to go back and see it a second time, but I want to see it with someone who hasn't seen it, like Mom, Tay, and then
She's not seeing it. Leave that alone.
she said she's interested.
I know. I already talked to her about it. She's saying that she's interested. She's not going to see that movie. You have to leave that alone.
But I want to see it again because
Is it because of religious purpose or
No, she's gonna be
she doesn't like
scared.
horror. She don't
She's
like
She's
horror.
going to be scared.
She
You're
don't
not
like
going
horror.
to see that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But my thing is, if you tell her about the jump scares, because I was thinking about telling her.
I started telling her about the movie, and she said, I think you should stop telling me about it so I can sleep tonight. So I think
There
we
you
got to
go.
leave that alone.
It's enough.
So
Yeah.
going back to my question, what do you think is going to be the lasting impact of this film?
There you go, Jeff.
I mean, I think in terms of like generally in Hollywood, people are going to start writing with more original IP. Like, we're going to see more original movies. I feel like from like, I think right now Hollywood is afraid to greenlight original movies because people aren't going to the movies, and so it's all remakes, Accountant Part Twos, Marvel. And I feel like the studios might be more willing to give give more original IPs a try and more Black directors, Black writers, Black movies a try, because this has done so well unexpectedly that I think they might be more willing to pump some more money there.
Okay.
That's a good way of looking at it.
And that also goes to show, too, when people say that Black movies don't sell, that's a myth. Because Black movies do sell if you actually back it.
I think we already proved that.
Yeah, but they keep saying that over and over. It's like every time. They keep spinning that narrative every decade.
I agree. But guess what? Their movies ain't really selling either. So, I mean.
But it's okay, though. White mediocrity is accepted. Black people don't have the space to be mediocre.
No, you're right. We're going to get one time, and that's it. No more budget. Like, this movie wide tank, it would have been done for Ryan.
Yeah.
They'll probably they definitely want to let him touch. They definitely want to let him touch Black Panther 3, even though he did very well on 1 and 2.
Let's be honest, though. Has Ryan ever had a misstep on a film? People get on Wakanda Forever, but I think that is misogynoir because they're mad that Black women were at the forefront of that film.
Who gets on Wakanda Forever?
Oh, no. There are a lot of people that don't like Wakanda Forever.
Just because they don't like it, it's still sold well.
I know. I'm just saying a lot of the critics did not rate it very well. And I think it's due to Black women being the lead. I think that's why.
Well, personally, I feel like to answer your question about Ryan, I think with Ryan, you got to give him credit because the Black Panther he wrote wasn't what he produced. Meaning he had a different, like, he hinted that the Black Panther, if Chadwick never died, it would have been once again in the same realm of how Marvel was doing it with after the blip, what happens. Mm-hmm. So everybody was starting after the blip, and it was going to be about T'Challa, him coming back from the blip, find out he had a son, coping with the fact he has a son, and then we was going to have a villain because it was similar to that already in the comic book. Like one of the villains he was going to meet was in one of the comic books. So that was the whole Black Panther 2. But then he passes away, and I think Ryan did a great job of making another one that was good, you know. But I think with this movie, I think Taylor's right. I think a lot of studios will probably be more accepting of original movie, IPs, right? But in the same token, it's only gonna take one to fail. They're gonna go right back to Pokemon and Minecraft
and Sonic and Sonic 7.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's only gonna take one time to fail. And don't let it fail with us, right? That's why I like what Spike Lee is doing. Spike Lee, he has enough cachet to do what he wants to do. Spike Lee's not even in no one realm. He does what he want to do. He really does. He come out with his movie, either you're gonna watch it or you're not. I don't think Spike Lee is wealthy off his movies because he doesn't care. He comes out with a movie, like I think one of his biggest movies was probably Inside Man. It was probably one of his biggest movies.
Spike Lee did that? That's it. That's
Inside Man?
I didn't know that was him. Oh, okay.
Yeah. With Denzel Washington playing that guy who was hiding in the bank.
Bro, how many darn movies does Denzel and Spike got together?
I know.
A lot.
Inside Man was a very good movie.
And that
it didn't feel like it was Spike Lee. Yeah, that's a Spike Lee joint.
But that leads into the last part of this episode right here in terms of the relationship between Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler. Where do they go next? Because a lot of people are saying they are our generation Spike Lee and Denzel Washington. And it's funny because Spike Lee and Denzel both from New York, Michael B. and Ryan both from Cali.
Mm-hmm.
And they grew up knowing each other.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like when it comes to them two, I like their dynamics because even though Ryan is technically, I won't call him the boss, but he's the one that's a real director, he's a real writer. He doesn't mind giving those ideas and those jewels and the sauce to Michael B. He's not threatened. And that's a good thing. Because I think that's a lot of time we have a problem with, just think about music. We both can't be making music and both rapping. Somebody got to be the music maker. Somebody got to be the rapper. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, people it seems like a lot of times when you look at certain avenues, you can only do this and I can only do that. When you look at Ryan and Michael B, they share the same likes, just like with Creed, he's the reason why Michael B did Creed 4. He learned a lot from working with his friend and figure out how to use the camera,
Creed 3.
3, yeah.
Yeah. He's thinking about a 4, but we don't
No,
know.
he shouldn't do a 4. Shouldn't do a 4 now. See, I was so many, I thought it was a 5. So
the third was really good though. I love the way
3?
Michael. The third was really good.
I don't
It's
think
only 3. I thought it was 4.
No, it's 3.
Damn.
The first one he meets Rocky. The second one he fights Drago's son, and the third one is when he has the daughter and he fights what's his name?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors' character.
Okay, damn, I thought that was 4. Okay,
R.I.P.
So, yeah, I know.
Jonathan Majors coming back.
Okay,
no.
They're gonna have to buck Baker him a little bit. He'll be back.
He's not coming back.
He's coming back.
I don't think so. He's done.
Oh well.
I don't know, but yeah. So I say I like how they work together. Ted, you can jump in. Sorry.
Oh, I have nothing to say. I was just saying Jonathan Majors not coming back.
He coming back.
Okay,
Megan Good is his clean slate. She is saving him right now.
Megan Good got to go and eat a cheeseburger. So
she really does. She
bleaching.
getting too thin, man. She getting
stop bleaching.
She
Every
bleaching
time I look at that lady, she lighter.
You think she bleaching?
Them a bleach. But you know what? They're gonna blame but they're gonna blame the makeup artist. So we're gonna just stick with the makeup.
Oh, just like with Serena.
That lady looked like the
Serena
wind blow.
has filler.
No,
Serena
Serena is lighter than she was from back. Serena used to be my complexion.
Serena was my complexion, not your complexion. First of all, and second of all, Serena was playing in the sun.
Serena was dark as me.
Serena was
in the sun, probably. Jay Stoke.
She was playing in the sun. She was playing in the sun. She's playing tennis.
Fine. All right, go ahead. But she light now. She started like Kerry Washington. I feel like Kerry Washington.
Thank you.
Bleaching.
That's the lady I was talking about. Kerry Washington and Megan Good both need to stop doing what they're doing. They both looking like they ain't eating. They too rich to be not eating.
Lupita ain't eating either.
They like they eating cat food or something.
No, they might be on the Ozempic.
Oh, they need to go on Ozempic.
They already thin as it is. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Like
you saw KY. You know, she got a movie that's coming out this Friday. Y'all gonna see it?
Who?
Yeah, there you go. I tell you that as a yes. Y'all gonna go see it.
Who got the movie?
Kerry Washington.
She
still acts?
Yeah, she acts all the time. But then I
she called a movie.
In what? I haven't seen a movie of her for a long time.
Jay,
yeah, you know that guy who
$25. The movies cost $25 to $32 a ticket. I'm not seeing a movie unless I want to go see a movie.
That's very true.
Yeah. They trying, but anybody gonna see that movie? People are gonna see Scandal.
Thunderbolt's been a flop.
Well, I will go see Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolt is about to flop. They only made $76 million.
It was a nice movie. It's a nice feel-good movie, but it's still.
But you said I shouldn't go see it for $25.
No, I don't think it's worth seeing in theaters. No, like I ain't see Captain America in theaters. I ain't see the only reason I saw
Captain America in theaters and I lost I felt like I wasted money. Sorry, I cut you off.
The only reason I saw
funny.
Thunderbolts was because I needed to buy some time because your sister-in-law was entertaining company and I needed to be away from the house for a little bit. So I was like, all right, let me figure out something to do. That's the only reason I saw it.
You went to go see it?
No, I went to see it by myself.
Ted, yo, cousin Rich, he wasted $25. He kind of just went to the library.
Right,
no, I was hanging out with no. So I was hanging out with my friend, and then he had to go pick up his wife, and our meeting got cut short. So that's why I had to figure out something to do. Either that or be stuck in Baltimore.
$30? And I bet you
$30?
got some snacks too, didn't you?
No.
You got
I just
popcorn,
sat
didn't
there.
you?
I sat there and
You
just
get no
watched
water,
the
no
movie by myself.
soda.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I would say I don't think it's worth seeing in the theaters.
What if I go on? What if I go on
Listen.
$8 Tuesday?
I saw it on the bootleg and it wasn't even worth seeing.
Oh no.
I saw it on the bootleg and I was like, I'm over this. I don't even got the patience. The
Captain
quality wasn't even
America.
that bad. I was just like, oh, this is not good. When I
I
saw the
only
villain,
went-
I was like,
I only went
what?
to go see Captain America because I said I have to support Anthony Mackie. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I said I have to support this black man, so let me go spend my hard-earned money. That was a waste of my $20.
Jay said,
Yeah, Marvel's
Jay, you
not
said it
doing
was good. Jay, you said Captain America was
I
good.
thought Captain America was good because it was a black, like I felt, it was like a black theme.
But they hit you over the
black
head
man.
with it, though, towards the end. They hit you over
Oh,
the head.
I gotta watch it then.
What
Is it
is-
I
out?
don't
Is
think
it
it
out on
hit you over
streaming
the
yet?
head. I mean,
They hit
Is
you
it
over
out
the
on
head
streaming
with
yet?
it. No,
Huh?
not yet. Just wait till it come on Disney.
Listen, I'm boycotting Marvel. I didn't want to see Thunderbolts. I just needed something to do. I'm
Man, listen.
boycotting Marvel. I ain't watching no
Listen,
more theater,
I'm not
them movies in the
saying-
theaters.
I'm not saying that it was probably the best Captain America, but for me, put it like this. It would have been better on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It should have been a movie. But it was okay for a movie, it wasn't good. Disney Plus, oh man, let's get it. I agree with you when it comes to that.
So,
It was a Disney Plus type vibe,
Yeah.
but you had to pay money for it.
so as we close
Right.
this thing out, the moral of the story is we're gonna support Ironheart on Disney Plus, correct?
On the 24th.
When it comes out on
Wait,
June
when's it come
24th.
out? When's it come out?
June 24th.
June 24th.
All right,
5
someone
days
remind
after
me.
your birthday.
Somebody text and remind me.
I'm gonna need to borrow one of y'all Disney logins.
I'll add you. You want me to add you as a
I hope.
icon?
I really hope
Yeah.
the rest of this Marvel
yeah.
stuff come out on Disney Plus because I don't want to go to the movies to see it anymore.
I
Man.
can't
I'm
go back to
over
the
it.
movies.
I'm over
to
it.
see-
I'm over
to see
seeing
Marvel.
Marvel.
Nah, you're right.
They're dragging it out too much, man.
It's
Seriously.
too much.
Yeah. With that being said,
All right, guys, it was fun.
all right, y'all. Till next time.
Peace.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.